Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Verblingites, I'm sorry. My name is Holly and I'm here to talk to you about learning languages. So this will be a vocabulary activity plus a discussion activity where we will talk about language learning and the pitfalls and the triumphs and so forth. Then we'll go through the different types of language learning or go through it'll be just a structured lesson where we just systematically go through this topic. Again, let me show you the plan for today. First of all, we'll start with a quick discussion on. I will ask everybody how many languages they already know, and then we will go through a language quiz to see what people know about countries around the world. And then we will talk about how describing languages, how different languages might sound differently to different people. Then describing language skill. Are you advanced? Are you advanced? Are you intermediate? Are you beginning level? Then asking about words. We'll go through the phrases and things like that, which you can ask about words. And then we're going to have a discussion, more of a structured discussion that people can do. And then if there's time, we'll talk about parts of speech and grammar. So that is the plan for today. So I hope that we can have a really good discussion from the people that are going to be here. And looking forward to working with everybody on this. So, all right. Go ahead and stop the screen share. A little bit about me. My name is Holly, and I'm one of two Hollies at Verbling. There is another Verbling teacher, Holly, who also teaches live classes, and she also tutors as well. And so I believe I'm newer than she is. I've been with Verbling for about maybe 10, 12 days. And you can find me and my profile at that link. You can also find me on Facebook. They asked me if I wanted a Verbling teacher page, and I said absolutely. So I have a Verbling teacher page as well, and so that URL is, one moment, I'm getting that URL is right here. So again, the topic today is on language learning and learning languages. Let me quickly go through the plan with you all today. The plan is that we will start with a language quiz, and then we will go to describing language skill, asking about words, and then we'll go to a discussion, and maybe grammar if we have time. Hi, Tatiana.
Hello.
And how are you?
Great, thank you.
Good. How are you, Natalie? Maybe she's still coming on. So, how was the beach today? Did you get to the beach?
No, I didn't go to the beach today because I got up a little bit late. Now I've just came back from the breakfast salon.
Okay.
And breakfast canteen, and I'm full. Maybe some hours later I would go to the beach.
Okay. So what is it?
I not just go. I not just swim in the beach. I go to the beach on my foot. I walking. It may be 1 kilometer. Yes, and that's why.
Yeah. So it's a day of it. When you say breakfast canteen, what do you mean by that?
Breakfast canteen. I think it's the room where I can have breakfast.
Kitchen? Or
no, it's not just
is
kitchen.
It in your
it's
home,
like hall, like salon, like.
Is it a cafeteria? Maybe.
No, it's breakfast, self-serving breakfast.
Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that word before. I've just never heard it that way. And then I've also heard this one, cantina as well. For example, companies will have a cantina. The last company I worked for had a cantina. So, hello, Bashak. How are you today? Again,
Hello,
saw you a
I'm
couple
good. How
hours
are
ago.
you? Yeah.
All right. All right. And Anton, how are you?
Hello, nice to meet you. This is my
Nice.
first time with you.
Oh, awesome. Well, welcome. And Anton, tell me about, is that your son next to you on the picture?
Yeah, it's my son in 3D cinema.
Okay, I was wondering what the glasses were, so it was a 3D cinema. Did he keep his glasses on during the movie, or did he take them off?
Yeah, we were using this kind of glasses all the time to trying to view perfectly the 3D
Uh-huh.
effects.
Perfect. Awesome. How old is he?
Uh, Now he's 9, and in this
Ah,
photograph he was 5 or 6
okay.
maybe.
Okay. My nephews and nieces are 5 and 6 now, but when they were 4, I took them to a 3D movie and they would not keep the glasses on. So I don't know how they enjoyed
Yeah,
the movie.
this
So,
is the case with my doctor.
uh-huh. Yeah, all right. Natalie, how are you today? Maybe she's working on her microphone.
Could you hear me
Oh,
now?
oh yes, I can hear you now. Excellent.
Hi, hi, how are you?
How are you? Now, remind me, you're from Russia, right?
No, I'm from Colombia.
Ah, I got that
Yeah, I live
completely
in
wrong.
London. Yeah, don't worry, it's okay.
And I knew you lived in London. But okay, now I
Yeah,
remember. I remember now. And Anton, where are you from?
I'm from Spain.
You're from Spain, okay. And
Yeah.
maybe you know these other gals as well. There's Tatiana. She is actually an expat living in Turkey, but she's from Russia. Then there's Başak, who's also an expat living in the U.S., but she's from Turkey. So,
Yeah. Başak, merhaba.
Merhaba.
yeah. So, an expat is a short for an expatriate, and an expat lives legally um, in another country. They live, work, study. They have many reasons for being in the other country, but they're living in a country that they weren't born in. So, and then Natalie, also you're an expat as well because you're in the UK. So,
I think so, yeah.
yeah.
If I
So,
understand the meaning, because I'm
yeah.
not sure.
But expats are internationals. Another some people will say international, like international student or whatever. But if you're an expat, you just live in another country, a country you were not raised in or were not born in. So
All
and
right. So,
and
then
Anton,
I,
you and I are the only ones living in our own country right now. So so
For the moment.
yeah, have you ever lived in another country, Anton?
Uh, Only for pleasure,
Uh-huh.
not for job, but I'm thinking about to travel abroad, trying to find a new job because we are in a difficult situation,
Uh-huh.
and I probably try to work in Saudi Arabia,
Uh-huh.
and or in the US where some Spanish companies are working in uh, uh, green energy, special some,
Mhm.
and now there are a lot of research and a lot of developing this kind of energy and specialists in this kind of field.
Field. Cool. Cool. Well, that's great. And I was an expat. I lived abroad for about 13 to 14 years, from approximately 94 to 2009, with a couple years in the States between. I lived in South Korea and I lived in Finland. So, Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started on this. The topic today is learning languages. So before I actually start with the actual lesson that I have planned for you all, what I'd like to hear from everyone is, what languages do you already speak? So, Natalie, what languages do you speak?
Spanish, and now I'm trying to learn English.
Okay, Spanish and English. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Tatiana, what languages do you speak?
I can speak Russian, Ukraine, Turkish, English, and understand North Caucasus language, Cherkess language, and now I learn Italian language.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Okay. Instead of Ukraine, what we do is we call it Ukrainian.
Ukrainian.
Yeah, Ukrainian. Okay, awesome. So you are kind of a linguist, kind of. So, have you studied?
I adore language.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, and what is a person, do you guys know the vocabulary for a person who understands a language but they cannot speak it? Does any of you know that? So if you speak two languages, you're bilingual, but what if you understand the language but you can't speak it? Any idea?
No.
Okay, so new word for you guys. I'm writing it on the chat. If you are passive, well, actually the correct one, the correct is you're passive bilingual, or really actually grammatically you're passively bilingual.
Oh, I was thinking about the word, but I wasn't sure because normally when you know new vocabulary, you say that's my passive vocabulary. So,
yeah, exactly.
You don't know how to pronounce those things, so you say it's passive because it's not in your daily life. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's true, because a lot of times, I will want to help students activate their passive vocabulary. So this is words that they've known since they were little, but they've never used. So if you are passively bilingual, that means you can understand a language but can't speak it. So that sounds like, Tatiana, you have a few languages like that as well. So, Bashak, what languages can you speak?
Yes, except my mother language, I mean native English, I can speak just a little bit English.
And so, just your mother tongue?
Yes.
Okay, and what language is that?
Turkish.
Okay, Turkish. Okay, excellent. And Anton, what language do you speak? Languages? Are you there? Okay. So maybe he's having problems with his audio, and maybe he'll be back, hopefully. So let's go ahead and get started on this. Learning languages. First of all, this is just kind of a language quiz. Can you name the main languages that are spoken in the countries below? So what language does the Netherlands speak? Does anyone know?
Dutch?
Okay, yeah, Dutch. And I'm learning to write with my mouse. It's getting better. Okay, next one, Switzerland. What languages do they speak in Switzerland?
Swiss.
Swiss?
Yeah.
English?
So, no, neither one of those languages. Any idea? Think of the geography. Who are they around? What language? What countries are they around? So let's go. Let's skip Switzerland because that's more difficult. China. Anybody know that one?
Chinese.
Mandarin.
Yeah.
So Chinese or Mandarin?
Well, actually, what it's called is. Bear with me a moment. What it's called is Mandarin Chinese and Cantonese. So it's let's see if I can type this in. It's better than writing it. Give me a moment. Mandarin Chinese, and Cantonese, and they are both of them are very similar to apparently similar to each other, but far enough away from each other that not everybody knows. They don't know the same language, but they have the same writing, so they can speak through writing. So Mandarin and Cantonese. So anybody know Tanzania? What languages are there?
Tanzania, they speak Swahili.
Okay, and that's
and
actually
English.
Okay, excellent. Swahili and English, and I think it's one of the few African nations that actually speaks Swahili and English. So
Swahili. Mm-hmm.
And Swahili, yes. Iran. Does anybody know what language they speak in Iran?
Persian.
Okay.
Oh, Persian.
Natalie? Or was that Bashak that was speaking?
I think they're speaking Arabic.
Arabic, okay. Actually, in Iran, I think there are probably pockets of people that speak Arabic, but actually, the two languages that they have in Iran is Persian.
Fars.
Yeah, Persian and Farsi. Yeah, and I kept trying to say Parsi just like you did. We were both getting it wrong. So Persian, and Farsi.
Persian. I say Persian.
Yeah.
Persian.
I pronounce it Persian. So.
Persian.
Yeah, Persian and Farsi is the language there. So anybody know what language do people in Iceland speak? Anybody doing Google searches?
Yeah.
Me. But it's too slow, so I can't get it.
Oh, okay.
Iceland. Iceland.
Okay,
Iceland
actually,
language.
We pronounce it Icelandic.
Icelandic.
Yeah.
Icelandic.
Yeah. Okay. How about Brazil? We have had a lot of Brazilians here in.
Spanish, Brazil.
No. Natalie knows this one.
Portuguese.
Yeah. Portuguese.
Yeah,
aren't they the only? Isn't that the only country in South America that speaks Portuguese?
Yes, I think so.
Is it Portuguese? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's not. It's giving me a.
Portuguese is it's a U between the G and
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the X, but okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because.
Yeah. I got a little red line under it, so I knew to change it. So, Thai. What language do they speak in Thai? In Thailand.
Thai.
I know. I said the language instead of the country.
Yeah, Thai.
Yeah.
So, hi, Ake. How are you today?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Very good. So, tell me,
Mhm.
Ake, what language do they speak in Switzerland?
Switzerland, German,
Okay.
Dutch, and Roman. I forgot the name of the language. Roman's kind of. Uh,
German. German's correct.
no, that's not
I,
correct.
I
German,
think it's
French,
French.
French,
Yeah.
yeah. German,
and one
French.
more, and
What's
I
two
don't know
more?
the name. One, I don't know the name, but kind of Romance
Yeah, you're
language.
right. You're very close. Have you been to Switzerland before?
I've been, I'm not, no, I've met Switzerland people here, so
Ah,
I heard
okay.
of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a girl from Switzerland in my home as a foreign exchange student when I first came back to the States, and she was the neatest young
Mm.
lady. Okay, so
Romance.
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 Basically it's a isn't it from I think it's from Romania, or it's the possibly the what are they called? There's a group of people that speak this language,
Mhm.
possibly from Romania. So, okay, so that is kind of our trivia for the day. So, Ake, does everybody remember where he's from? Nobody remembers? Okay, so you speak Japanese. How many other languages do you speak, Ake?
Japanese and English.
Yeah, okay.
And a little bit French, but I forgot.
Okay, so yeah, I studied French and Japanese,
Mhm.
and I can't say a word. I've informally studied Korean, and I can say a few
Mhm.
words, and I remember
Yeah.
the alphabet. And then I've formally and informally studied Finnish, and can actually carry on a conversation, but I'm not very
I
good.
know some simple Korean sentence because of Korean dramas.
Uh-huh. Okay,
Very
Korean
simple.
Korean dramas. I know how to tell the taxi driver to go left and right, and I also know to say no. So, all right, let's go on to the next page. So, look at the sentences below. What do you think the underlined words mean? Match them to the definitions on the right. For example, it resembles my language. Anybody have any idea what that would be? It resembles my language.
It's similar to.
Okay, it is similar to. Okay, perfect. Okay, it sounds very harsh.
Yes.
Not soft.
Not soft, exactly. Okay, it's easy to pick up.
Learn.
Pleasant sounding. Oh.
No, I think I heard somebody say. Did somebody say learn?
Yes, learn
Yeah.
by listening and practice.
Uh-huh. Learn by listening and practicing. It has a rich vocabulary.
A
A
large number
large.
of different words. Sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
A large number of different words and expressions.
Yes. Okay. The words are difficult to pronounce.
Difficult to understand.
No, not difficult to understand. Somebody else said it though.
Pleasant sounding.
No.
Make
Make the sounds.
Yeah, I think that was that Natalie?
What it was me and the other girl as well.
Oh, okay.
Because I heard her as well. So.
Okay, I thought okay, it was you. I heard two voices. Okay,
Yeah.
it sounds very Melodic.
That's a
Pleasant
pleasant sounding.
sounding.
Pleasant sounding. Then that's from melody, and it's not a word I ever use. So, it is completely alien to me.
Strange, different.
Hmm. The grammar is very complicated.
Difficult to understand now.
Yeah, that would be the last one. Okay, so you guys have all at least studied one other language besides your mother tongue, and that's English. Okay, but think of a language that matches each description. So, what language? Okay. What a language resembles Japanese?
Resembles. Maybe I don't know. But, it's very difficult to observe my native language. So sometimes I wonder how Japanese sounds like. But I think difficult to understand in some sense about grammar.
Uh-huh.
And actually, origin of Japanese language is still mysterious. It doesn't have a clear word origin like English.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's actually Japanese, Korean, Finnish, and Hungarian are all the mystery languages.
I see. Yeah, some linguists said it's very similar to ancient Dravidian language. It is South Indian language, but it doesn't have an academic consensus. I just read one book about that.
There have been some people some of the Finns have said that when they hear Japanese, they think it sounds like Finnish.
Oh yeah.
So, but I don't know. You'd have to hear Finnish yourself to really know. So, Başak, how about what language resembles Turkish?
It's very difficult question. I think to me, Turkish is very unique. We talked about this topic yesterday, and again, I couldn't give an answer because I don't know. Maybe Italian. Actually, Tatiana can answer this question because she knows.
What do you think, Tatiana? Any idea, Tatiana? Tatilian? Tatitulin? I can't say that name. Are you there? Maybe she stepped away.
Yeah.
Yeah, she may have stepped away or something like that.
I'm here.
Oh, you are here. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Do you know about what language sounds close to or resembles Turkish?
Turkish. Oh, Uzbek language, Tatar, Malkar, Karachay, Kazakh, Uzbek, Tajik.
Really?
Maybe Tajik. Yeah. Azerbaijan the closest. I don't know in English, but in Turkish, Azeri.
Yes.
Oops. Something happened with the teacher.
Başak, am I right?
Yes, you're. I didn't say Azeri language because I take it in the category of Turkish, that language. So I think about European languages or the other countries.
Yeah. It's not, of course, the same.
Hi, everyone.
But differences. Hello.
Did you miss me? I don't think you did.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Okay, so let's look at another language. Well, as far as Spanish, Natalie, what language does Spanish resemble? Is it Italian?
Yeah, Italian and Portuguese, I think.
Okay. And how about Russian?
I don't think so. We share in Russian and English. We share some words, but it's just the sharing is no. Actually, it's different pronunciation, but the spelling is really similar in some words.
Okay.
I heard that French is really similar when you're writing, but it's not the same when you're speaking, obviously. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because I think it's the Romance languages, so it's because that.
Yeah.
They're similar.
Yeah. Well, I think that people like German speakers, if it's easier for them to learn English or Italian, the Romance language or Spanish than it is for a Finnish speaker or a Japanese speaker. That's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true though. So, but you still have to be disciplined though.
Yeah, I heard that for Spanish people it's easier to get Japanese as well.
I think so. Many kind of Italian or Spanish speaker or Portuguese speaker can speak Japanese in clear pronunciation.
Really? And it's because they have the similar sounds?
Yes, it's because that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I heard some movies and films, and actually the sound is really. It's like because, for example, I got friends from here. They say that when we speak, sound like a ta 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 like a.
Yeah.
So it's just. So in Japanese and Spanish, in that way, it's the same. We had the same level of pronunciation. So it's.
How funny.
Actually, it's not annoying for me hearing. So. Whereas if I heard another language, it could be a little, oh my God, what's this? Because I'm strange, So.
I wonder what the easiest language is to learn. I think
English is one of them, because it's difficult pronunciation. Maybe it's easier to get, the main ideas because it's not a difficult grammar. So.
Yeah. All right. Tatiana, what would you say about Russian? What language does it resemble?
It depends of the parts. For example, in Ukraine, if you live in south part, it's easily to understand people from Russia and Ukraine. It's like the similar languages. Of course, there are differences, but they can understand each other. Another language I think more closest is Bulgarian language.
Okay.
And Slovakian language.
Cool. Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's go on. But one thing, just to remind everybody, I'm putting suggestions for alternative ways to say stuff on the chat. Okay, which language, in your opinion, sounds very harsh? Does anybody have a suggestion?
Harsh, what does it mean, harsh?
Harsh is not soft.
Not soft. I think Georgian language. I think Cherkess language, maybe Kurd language.
Okay.
I think so.
I was thinking German language.
German.
Maybe you've never heard about these languages. What I said.
No, I'm probably. That's exactly. I have, based on my experience, the German, but I have not heard the languages you described. So, what is a language that is easy to pick up?
For me, it's Russian.
Russian. Yeah, English was really easy for me too. So, Okay, what do you think is a language that's easy to pick up? Or is there a language that's easy?
Easy to pick up, maybe. Sorry, go ahead.
Me? Okay, for me, English a little bit difficult language when I began to study, and now I begin study Italian language. I think pronunciation more closer to Russian pronunciation, I think.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier to learn, but grammar, difficult.
Somebody told me that the first language you learn is always the most difficult to pick up. And after you master one language, a second language or a third or a fourth gets easier because you have learned how you learn.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that that's the same, correct, Tatiana?
What about correct?
That the first language is always the most difficult to learn, and then after that, the languages after that are very much easier to pick up.
Yeah, maybe because, for example, in Italy, there are a lot of words from English language and some words the same like in Russian language.
Okay.
But not all, of course, but a little bit similar. But for example, if I learned Turkish language, I can understand other Turkish speakers, like from Azerbaijan people, or from North Caucasus, it's Dagestan, and like that. But I can't say that. Of course, the more languages you learn, the easier for you. But it depends on the group of the languages. If this group, not English group, Latin group, another group, it may be difficult for you. But if it's the same group, it may be easier.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Let's go on to number 4. Which language, in your knowledge, has a rich vocabulary? Bashak, what do you think?
Excuse me?
Let's go to number 4. Which language has a rich vocabulary?
For me, Turkish.
Turkish, okay.
Yes.
Okay, and Natalie, what would you say in your experience?
Oh, I think, I don't know, maybe I consider the Spanish and Portuguese we got a lot of vocabulary, so I would say my own language, but I have no idea to the others, so about another language.
All right, let's go to the next one. Which words are difficult?
I think the Russian language.
Oh, really? Has a rich vocabulary? Okay. Number 5, words are difficult to pronounce. Which language has words that are difficult to pronounce?
I think Arabic.
Yeah, I think any tonal language. Do you guys know what I mean by that? A tonal language. For me, it is. A tonal language would be Thai. I don't know about Thai actually. Taiwanese or the Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, Cantonese. It's where they might have one sound, for example, ma, but the meaning changes based on the tone. So it's ma 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 ma. So each one is different. And since I am tone deaf, I kind of think that it's I'm not really tone deaf, but I'm not good at it.
I heard
absolutely. You're right. It's difficult. I can say Vietnamese language.
Yeah.
Because it's all melody.
Yeah. Okay. What were you going to say about it?
I heard about Cantonese has 10 different sounds, tone difference.
10 different tones. Yeah. Yeah. Because I think like Taiwanese, their local language, because I know they speak Chinese as well, also has more tones than Chinese does.
Wow.
So, and then Vietnamese has a lot of tones, and I think that's difficult in my opinion, but it depends. So, number 6, what language maybe sounds very melodic or has a melody?
Oh, for me, of course, Italian language.
Oh, really?
Like a music.
Yeah. I think any language almost to me sounds very melodic. If you don't understand it, you're just listening to someone talk. It sounds like it's like an orchestra going. So, what language is completely alien to you?
Chinese.
Chinese.
Chinese, Korean.
Yeah. Okay, what about you?
Klingons, maybe?
What one?
Klingons in Star Trek.
Oh, Klingon. Klingon.
Some people seriously study about the language, actually.
Yeah. There are linguists who've studied the Klingon language, because they've come up with this with the Star Trekkies and all that.
And I heard an interesting episode about, kind of, how can I say? I don't know, one pronunciation, one tribe speaks very distinctive pronunciation. That's usually we, how can I say, release the air from the mouth. But that pronunciation, we inhale the air to make the sound. So that's a unique sound.
There was a movie that was made in the 80s, probably about 85. Yes. If you guys are interested, it's called The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Yes, that movie, yes. I recognize
Have you guys seen that movie? And what happens is there's an African tribe, and they're nomads, and they are the people that speak like this. And they are in the desert, and a glass soda bottle falls on them, and they find that it is not very good. So a man is sent to the civilization to give it back, and it is so funny. It's been years since I've seen it.
Yeah.
So, in your guys' opinion, which language has grammar that is very complicated? Which has grammar that is very complicated?
In terms of the tenses, English grammar, has more tenses than my native language, so it's difficult to understand the usage or feeling of, past perfect or future perfect or such kind of tense, which my native language doesn't have.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some of these it's very difficult to know unless you speak a lot of languages. So, Başak, how would you describe your native language? How would you describe Turkish?
Actually, here I don't want to describe my language because Tatitulin isn't here, huh?
Yeah, she just left. She left it.
I can say something.
Okay.
I think my language is very complicated. Turkish. And as I said, it has a very rich vocabulary. And there are some words as I don't know even. Sometimes somebody says a word, I ask the meaning. Even we don't know some words in our language. So it's so complicated.
Yeah. English is like that too. We have vocabulary tests all the way through high school. because there's words we are learning all the time. So, okay, how about Japanese? How would you describe Japanese?
I think Japanese, modern Japanese is a combination of kind of Asian Japanese and then Chinese and then English. Like English is a kind of combination of foreign language based on the native language. Because, you know, how can I say? Chinese was very influential in Asia, almost like the Roman Empire. So we imported a lot of things like Chinese characters. So and then, you know, Western civilization came, and Western civilization has a lot of idea or words which we didn't have. So translator at that time translate such English concept into Japanese using Chinese characters. So kind of, and Chinese character now some of them you know use this kind of Western concept in Chinese character.
Oh wow!
Invented. Kind of complicated anyway. And nowadays a lot of Japanese types English are spoken, like handle. Handle means steering wheel. It confuses me, actually.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I mean, Japanese, you know, you have is it katakana?
Yes. Katakana. Hiragana.
Is it Hangul?
Katakana.
No, Hangul is Korean. I'm getting confused.
Yeah, Hangul is Korean.
Yeah.
Korean simplify their writing system, just only Hangul now.
Yeah, and it's very easy. I learned the Korean Hangul, and I learned how to read it and write it by just sitting on the subway. You know, it could just comparing different things. Oh, that must be that sound. That must be that sound. But I didn't learn any vocabulary that way. So, okay. This says study the sentences below. Well. What I'd like you guys to do is, what do you think? We've got 5 levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What levels are these people? Intermediate, advanced. So first one, Aldo's English has come a long way. In a year, he won't need lessons anymore. Would you consider that person intermediate or advanced?
I think advanced.
Advanced, okay. Then Carla can hardly say a word. What level would she be?
Beginner.
Beginner, okay. Katrina knows just enough to get by.
Intermediate.
Intermediate. That's me in Finnish. So. Paolo is beginning to pick up a few words and phrases.
Beginner.
Beginner. Beginner, upper beginner maybe.
Upper.
Yeah. Taki is almost fluent.
Upper intermediate.
Upper intermediate, or I would say advanced, possibly. It depends. Okay, let's go to this. This is the part I think that's the most important. So we've got these words that are very similar. Another, call, for, opposite, polite, pronounce, and say. Let's see if we can put these in these sentences, okay? So letter A, how do you hello in French? What word would you use? Anybody know?
How do you say?
Bonjour.
Yeah. Bonjour is, yeah. So how do you say?
Sorry, I misunderstood the question.
Yeah, I know you did. But that's okay. But you did know the answer. You answered what you thought you was correct, so that's fine. A, what's the Spanish good morning? Which word would you put for this one?
For.
Okay, so what's the Spanish for good morning? Yes. I do believe my mouse is writing is going to be capital letters. So, what do you blank this in English?
Call?
Yes, what do you call this in English? Okay, this is a chair. Okay, how do you this word?
Pronounce.
Pronounce, yes. How do you pronounce this word? And some people might actually, just because they can't remember the word pronounce, some people say, how do you say this word? But they are actually meaning pronounce. I feel like a kindergartner learning how to write when I look at these. Okay, what's the blank of organized?
Opposite.
Opposite, yes. So what's the opposite? Okay, next one. What's way of saying difficult?
Another?
What's another way of saying difficult? So what's another way of saying easy? Anybody know? Another way of saying easy.
Easy.
Simple.
Oh, yes.
Next one. So what's a more polite way of saying fat?
Obesity?
So you're overweight. So you would never you would never say you are fat. You would say, you know, you're kind of a little overweight. You wouldn't even say that, but he is overweight. She is overweight. So, all right, let's go on to the next one. Next page. Okay, we've already answered some of these questions. How many languages do you speak? So, Ake, could you choose a question and ask Bashak?
Okay. How did you learn your second language, Bashak?
I can't say that I learned my second language, but I start to learn in school.
Okay, so I started to learn in school.
Yes, I started to learn.
Okay. So how did you learn it? Because in what ways, what strategies have you used to learn English? How have you studied?
I took courses. That's all.
Okay.
Actually, I can't say any strategy because just some practicing, exercising.
Okay.
Grammar.
Okay. All right. Okay. How about not okay? Yeah. How about you? How did you learn your second language?
At the beginning, I wanted to sing English songs, so I mimicked the English sound with karaoke, and I found the sound connection, which doesn't happen in Japanese. Like, for example, when I change to when I, can I change to can I. After that, go ahead.
Is that why you don't have as strong of an accent in Japanese as so many people?
Yeah, I think so, because Japanese word kind of pronounced kind of separately. Can I? When I. So
yeah.
I didn't imagine. Wow, sound connection. So I repeatedly, listen to the exact part of the song which I cannot pronounce or understand. So I found that sound connection. And after that, I entered the middle school and I started learning vocabulary or grammar. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay, Bashak, can you choose a question to ask? Okay.
Could you teach your mother tongue to someone else?
Yes. I have one American friend, and on Skype, he is very interested in Japanese, and so I sometimes teach Japanese to him, and sometimes other Skype friends too. It's very good for how can I say, observe my language. Through teaching process, I noticed the Japanese, which I don't know actually.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I know that when I first started teaching, I didn't have. They told me they would train me, and then they didn't. And I went on to graduate school to learn about the language because I knew nothing. It was like So, how about you, Başak? Could you teach your mother tongue to someone else?
Yes, I can. I took a class about it.
Yeah.
It's very fun. Very good.
Yeah. All right. Okay, could you choose one more question? We have time for one more.
Okay. Okay. Do you use free language learning exercise on the internet, Başak?
No. Yes. I use Polly shared a website 2 days ago.
I didn't mean to. It was unwittingly. It was on the material. So, yeah. But all you have to do is all you have to do is type in free language exercises, and there's all kinds. So, or if you're struggling, for example, with a grammar, you just type in the grammar point in Google, and or a vocabulary word. Just type in that word, and you'll find all kinds of different sites and different explanations for that word.
Yes, there are a lot of. Yes, I know them.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for your participation today, and I really appreciate you being here. And the next lesson we'll be going over extreme adjectives if you guys want to stick around. Otherwise, I'll see you on another day, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.